This Dane County judge released his decision towards the end of the day today. We heard about it here in the newsroom about 4:45. 7 different parts of the collective bargaining legislation were ruled either in violation of the state or the federal constitution. We'll break down what those 7 specific parts are in just a moment here. But he did say, this is Dane County Circuit Judge Juan Colas, ruled that these portions of the collective bargaining law violate both the U.S. or the state constitution, and he renders them null and void. This was a lawsuit brought by the Madison Teachers Union and also by AFL-CIO Local 61 here in Milwaukee. And if we thought Capitol chaos and the recall elections were behind us, this lawsuit was continuing just to lay in the weeds. Again, popped up around 4:45 this afternoon. Let's go through these 7 different parts of the law that were struck down. 2 of them deal with increases in public employee wages and also in teacher wages. One of them is referring to something called a fair share agreement, which deals with how collective bargaining organizations have to pay for the bargaining process. Dues checkoff, which was very important. That allows union members to have their dues deducted directly from their state paychecks. That was rendered illegal by Act 10. That was ruled unconstitutional. What can be bargained? That was also ruled unconstitutional. Limitations on what can be collectively bargained. It was limited to things like wages, but wages within a certain frame. Things like working conditions, work rules cannot be collectively bargained. Those are now part of state employee rules across the board. Also, elections for certification of unions that have to happen every year. That was also ruled a violation of the state constitution. And then one item was ruled in violation of the U.S. Constitution, and that regards payments into the retirement system. We did get a statement from Governor Walker this afternoon. We'll read it to you in its entirety now. The governor says, quote, "The people of Wisconsin clearly spoke on June 5th. Now they are ready to move on. Sadly, a liberal activist judge in Dane County wants to go backwards and take away the lawmaking responsibilities of the legislature and the governor. We are confident the state will ultimately prevail in the appeals process." We got a similar statement from the Attorney General's office today saying they do plan on appealing. Statement from State Representative Peter Barca, who was a key character in the Capitol chaos, you'll remember, from February of last year. He says, quote, "This is a huge victory for Wisconsin workers and a huge victory for free speech. This validates an earlier federal court decision made on equal protection and First Amendment grounds." Peter Barca continues, this decision will help reestablish the balance between employees and their employers. Again, 7 different parts of the collective bargaining law, but big parts of that law, limiting what can be negotiated, the annual vote for certification of unions, and also the dues checkoff. Which was a very important thing because that is how unions get their money. It's a direct payment it's basically a deduction from a state union member's paycheck that goes directly into the union coffers. All 3 of those, plus 4 others, ruled unconstitutional violations of the law. Mike and Carol will send it back to you in the studio.
We'll be hearing a lot more from both sides. Thank you very much.